cover the job profiles that are available for user interface designers, and then Siddhesh will come on the deck and sum the presentation, and also he is going to talk about the future aspects. So let's start. Next slide, please. Okay, so here we go. This is the first image. Can anyone tell me what this is all about? A weird guess? Oh, yeah. This is Counter-Strike. Perfect. So, good guess. And yes, people know it by heart. The first thing which we notice about any game or any console is user interface. This is what it's all about. Next slide, please. More guesses?
Surfaces.
I said Windows 8.
Yes. The right one is Windows 8, the Mhatre look that they have launched recently, and the left one is iOS 7. There is another type of user interface. So let's start. What is user interface, and what is this user interface designing all about? Next slide, please. Yes. So user interface is an interface which discusses how humans are going to interact with the machine. The machine-human interaction is governed by user interface. What are different types? There are so many types. User interfaces are everywhere. Right from the printing station that you see, you go there and see a nice user interface that says this is your printing job, to the space station where you see propellers are going and you have a huge user interface where you see all those goofy stuffs are there. These are all user interfaces. Name it. Graphical user interface, web interface, all the social networking engines, they all have user interfaces. The designing, yes, this is our topic. Who designs all these cool user interfaces? Nothing but the user interface designers. There is one part of computer science stream, a person who is creative, who has knowledge of graphics, who sees how machine is going to interact with user, how user will be comfortable in using that machine, that system is governed by the user interface design. There are several processes involved in user interface designing, right from picking up what kind of graphic that they have to put to the functionalities that they have to implement. So it's a lot of work. So now we move to another thing. Now we know what user interface is all about, what design is all about, who designs these user interfaces. So let's see what kind of talent or skills are required to be in user interface designing field. This topic will be covered by my teammate Anton. Anton, sorry, Ross.
Hello. So every single job requires a certain set of skills. Skills being developed in order to do the job properly. Image interface is not an exception. For example, graphic design and presentation layer development mixes user experience will help developer to come up with something that actually I'm sorry. Most user-friendly designs is an artist with good understanding of human behavior and modern technologies. Graphic design mixed with experience knowledge.
What would be helpful?
Huh?
What would be helpful?
I'm just distressed, sorry.
You're just distressed?
Distressed.
You're too stressed about this?
Yes.
Oh, well, so what would be helpful to help you? So remind me, where did you just leave off? On the user
I
experience?
just got that stuff.
On what?
I couldn't even launch it properly.
You couldn't launch what?
Just my part.
Oh, your part? Well, just take a deep breath. What should we know about the skills that are needed in order to experience? What skills do you think are needed? Or are the skills required for somebody to do user interface? Is it about being a good graphical designer and being able to do presentation layer development? Is that what that's about?
I prepared everything, but I have speech, just
I'm sorry?
I can't speak.
Do you have it written there on your laptop?
Yes.
Okay, well, why don't you read that to us slowly? Okay? Read it to us slowly. So start from the top. So graphic design. What did you have written about that?
So every single career path requires a certain set of skills being developed in order to do your job. User interface design is not an exception. However, comparing to classic career choices like psychology, computer science, art, literature would be wrong, since background in all these fields is essential for user interface designer. Mostly, user interface designers are artists with good understanding of human behavior and modern technologies. Graphic design mixed with user experience knowledge will give the first image of what and how could be done. Human factor studies mixed with computer science and hint of information architecture would set up a good understanding of where, what and how should go, and what possible downsides are and the solutions. Human factor could be anything from part of the what is developed for to the age specific. For example, children are more attractive to bright colors, where grown-ups all about context.
So you want a job description next?
You said no. Yeah, so
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
So are you handing it off now? Is somebody else going to be talking about job description?
yeah.
One more
Can
thing.
you talking about
One more
job
thing.
descriptions?
Graphic design is essential skills since it helps to design fundamentals and ability to create assets, which are actually essential for art styles and for user interface. Good understanding of limits of the web technologies and game development process will help to understand what are the best solutions and how it's to be done. And now Neha and Srikar will proceed with career choices available and job opportunities.
Now I'd like to speak about the job description in this field of user interface design. Firstly, I'd like to speak about the analysis part. In this analysis phase of any project, the user interface designer has to consider all the user requirements on how he's expecting the user interface to be, and also the capabilities and project limitations. Also, he should keep the cost constraints, the cost factors into consideration before analyzing how he has to build it. And next, coming to the development phase. In this phase, he has to choose a particular language through which he can code in a better way, and through which how he can help users feel comfortable with the user interface. And coming to this testing and validation procedures, in this kind of jobs, you have to design the user interface, keeping all the procedures into consideration. Like, for example, the user interface, the design, the user interface must work on all kind of platforms and all kind of, like, for example, mobiles or different kind of devices, and also in different kind of browsers. And next is the documentation part. He has to be very clear with the documentation part and how and what he has done and what are the future aspects of it and how it can be improved further. This all has to be included in this documentation part. And also some of the responsibilities include supervising programmers how to go on with the further implementations of the design part. And next, he has he should be able to train the users to use the new and modify the interface he has developed it. And also he has to communicate the design which he has designed with different kind of sketches, storyboards or workflows or different kind of diagrams which represent the user interface. Next slide. Yeah, and coming to the career paths of this user interface design, in this there are very wide range of courses which you can take to get into this field, like the courses such as graphic design, information science, human computer interaction, computer graphics, and interaction design, many others. And also certifications help a lot in building your career in this domain. Also internships will help you a lot in getting a better career. And in working on this user interface design, you can work as a part of a team or also leading a team in where you can guide your teammates in designing, in partitioning the work, and also you can do independent work as a freelancer in designing the in designing the interfaces. And now Neha is gonna continue about job opportunities.
Hi. Now, if you are looking for a career in user interface designing, I think these are the industries and work domains which you can opt for, depending upon your interests or skill sets. First is the game design, Counter-Strike. We can design such games, websites, Facebook, Twitter. We can go into designing websites. Mobile applications, there are so many mobile applications available for Google or LinkedIn or Facebook. Desktop applications, software operating systems, these are also the work domains which we can opt for. Operating system, the new Windows 8 is a very good application with operating system which has a fantastic user interface. Next slide, please. Now these are some of the job positions which you can look for based on your skill set or interest or your level of experience. To name a few, user interface designer. After that you can become a senior user interface designer. If you're interested in website development, front-end developer, you can become a front-end developer and develop in HTML, PHP, CSS. Mobile application designer, web designer, game designer, these are some more positions which you can look for. Next slide, please. Now these are some of the companies which you can target as a user interface designer. Accenture, Facebook, Twitter, to name a few, Microsoft, the new Windows 8 GUI, Google, Salesforce, these are some of the companies which you can target. And these are the logos which you are seeing. If you become a user interface designer, you can get a chance to build some logos also in Photoshop or stuff like that. Or if you get into such big companies, you can also get a chance to modify it or redesign it, definitely. Now I think Siddhesh will talk about the future aspects of user interface designing.
Great, thank you, Neha, for your contribution. Okay, the future scope, that's what I'll be speaking about. So it has been a huge transition from command line interface to the GUI, which we see right now. So right now, the conventional user interface devices, it's the mouse, right? Mouse is what we use. So hand is capable of making lots of intricate hand gestures, intricate movements. But with the use of a mouse, we just make use of X and Y coordinates. So what these new companies have come up with is hand gestures, hand gesture recognition. For example, Microsoft Windows Metro GUI. Like most of you all must be using Microsoft Windows 8, right? So what these guys have come up with, they make use of all your finger gestures, as in 5 of them, not just X, Y, but all your fingers. They play an important role in interacting with the backend of the operating system. Now, the next thing which I would like to talk about is this spatially aware devices. So, could you play this small video clip? All our devices are virtually connected, but there is a lack of a tangible link between them, which has been found by this developer. For example, if he wants to read something from his laptop, he can just use his hand gestures, transfer it on his cell phone. Yeah, this is pretty much. Yeah, now as we can see, the concept has been so simple that one might think like, why wasn't it ever done before? But yes, there was certain constraint. For example, the one which I showed, it does require some specific hardware to be installed in your laptops so that these kind of things are possible. So that's what like, it's no longer just your screen, your mouse, keyboard. It's something beyond that these days. So that's pretty much about the future scope. And next slide, please. Does anyone have any question?
Did you have a chart of resources that you used?
Oh yeah, we have
Do you have that?
references. Yep.
References?
Yep. What's this one?
Did we miss it?
No, it's on a separate kind of.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for images, we have put the references for all the images.
For images, there are. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering what websites you used or, what resources you used for.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I see, on each one.